Talk. Let's listen to Devin Vassell end of the season interview. My man, a lot of Spurs fans hate you. I don't hate you. I still like you. I still want you on the squad. Will you be traded one day? Maybe, possibly. I don't know. We'll see. But I like Devin. I like Devin, bro. I like him. Let's see what he has. He's always optimistic. And you never have to speed up the video because he talks 100 words per second.
How are you feeling? Feel good. Feel good. Little, long season, little nicks and knacks and bruises here and there, but other than that, I feel good.
How can you sum up this season for you personally? You had injuries to deal with, but you
He looked
finished
tired.
out pretty strong.
Yeah. This is a long year for me. Truthfully, just like you said, starting off rehabbing from whenever I got my surgery. I don't know that. I think it was, if I can remember, I think it was in July or June. Actually, it was in June, end of June, and it felt like my season kind of started.
I will encourage all. This is a super random thought. I would encourage all of us not to necessarily be like treat players with kid gloves, right? Like I'm not saying that, or just say a player is great when they're not doing great. But some of the talk that we put out there when it comes to these players, it'd be a little wild, man. It's a little wild, right? All I say is let's not end up being like, I don't know, First Take when Trae Young had his rookie year and he struggled and everyone said he was trash, he's garbage, get him out of here, right? Like let's not have that same gosh, I need some water. Let's not have that same mentality when it comes to our players. I know Devin is no rookie, obviously, but we've seen Devin play better, right? And we know the context of the injuries that he's dealt with. And if you want him gone because of injuries reasons and you're like, I don't know if he's going to be very reliable, that's fair. I think that's totally fair to put that out there. But there were so many people just saying he's trash, he's garbage. And what really bothered me, though, is people saying he's soft. Like, just throwing out there, like, Devin Vassell is too soft for this team. What are we talking about? It's like that whole he just don't want it enough type of mentality, right? And that's not true. A lot of these players, most of these players, probably all, but most of the players want to win, right? And Devin has shown that he is competitive. Like, he can be competitive. You put him in a very competitive situation, he will show up. The one time, probably the biggest game that he's had thus far, which is kind of sad. We're on the come up. We're on the come up. But the most important game he's had thus far, he showed up to it. The play-in game, he showed up. He was there. He knocked down multiple shots. So he got it in him. He got competitiveness in him. So let's just not jump on this player's having a bad season thus far. What am I trying to say? Thus far. What am I trying to say? Therefore, what the heck was I doing right there? What is wrong with me? Anyways, therefore, he's all of these different things. He had one bad season, therefore he is soft, he is trash, he is garbage, he needs to be traded immediately. Thus far. Yeah, I don't know what I was doing. But yeah, therefore, all these other things. He's not. He's none of that. Okay? So, you can criticize, but let's just not chastise. I don't know.
Started from there, just with
All fans act like this? That's not true. Not all fans act like this. I've had plenty of people that I talk to that are critical of Devin, but don't go as far as to say he's trash and he's garbage or whatever. That's not true. That's not true. Maybe in the midst of a game, don't get me wrong. In the middle of a game, I'll say it. Like, I'll be like, man, oh my God, that's weak. But then after it, I calm down and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to put that out in the world and tweet that out and say this because it's not true. It's not true. It's just how I felt, watching an emotional game. But people will like ride on that, like say it. And it's like, okay, maybe you're just heated right now, but then just stay with it. And it becomes this narrative and everyone thinks that this player's soft now. It's like, what? I don't know. Internet brings out the worst of people. Yeah, because they have the confidence to say whatever without the consequences.
rehabbing and everything, and because I wasn't a part of being with the team with training camp and all other stuff, but it just was a good year. All in all, obviously, I wish as a collective it was a better year for us, and we would be playing after this game and trying to get into a playoff spot, but we weren't able to make that happen. But personally, for me, it was a good year. I learned a lot. I went through a lot of ups and downs mentally, but I feel like it helped me a lot, and it's grown me to be an even better player mentally and physically.
Can you explain to the layman like what it's like to not have an off season, to be healthy and work out and ready to go for the start of the next?
I don't think he's going to elaborate. I don't think he's going to elaborate because he looks sad. He looks tired. Yeah, I don't think he's going to elaborate because he doesn't want it to seem like an excuse. But there's nothing wrong with elaborating on the question, But I feel like he won't.
Next season, because like you said, it feels like like the whole time you were grinding or
playing catch up almost.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, that's basically kind of how it felt. When you have an off season, normally whatever you do, you take your time off and then you.
I bet he's gonna end this with saying, "Yeah, but there's no excuse. I have to." I bet she's gonna do that.
Start trying to get into the grind and the groove of things. So, it's obviously different. I didn't get to do some of the stuff that I wanted to do, whether it was working on certain stuff I wanted to work on this summer or whatever. I just kind of got right to it, trying to get in shape, trying to just get into basketball shape to where I can, play and help my team however I can. And that's kind of what happened. But just excited for this offseason to have time to work on stuff that I know I need to work on, personal goals that I want to work on stuff with my body. I'm just excited. I feel like over the past couple of seasons, I haven't had like a real true off season. Obviously, last year was like the biggest one, but I'm just excited. I feel like for younger players, for sure, the off season is a big time for us.
Maybe he's not going to say what I thought. Let me rephrase from all the fans. All fan bases have these loud minority of fans who have no idea what they are talking about, and they trash players left and right. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's only. Because I've been a Cowboys fan for the longest, and I stopped engaging with Cowboys fans because it seemed like a lot of them are like that. And then with the Spurs, yeah, you're right. I mean, we have them too. They just didn't really show up because we were winning so often. But now that we're losing, everyone has an opinion on why we're losing, and it's like some of the dumbest opinions I've ever seen. So, yeah, you're right. You're right. I was in denial that 99% of us were on the smarter end of knowing what winning basketball looks like and why winning basketball happened. But unfortunately, it's more than just 1% of people that are dumb. And the pop takes too, dumb fans. Yeah, wait, you must have said something else. I can say to those that say Sochan is trash. Oh yeah, and the pop takes. Yeah. If you come out and you say, I think Sochan needs to work on this aspect of his game, that's fine. But yeah, when you say that he's trash, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, advanced analytics don't agree with you. Even the eye test doesn't really agree with you. I don't know what you're talking about. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Not everybody looks like Steph Curry when they play.
Because we grow so much and develop so much and just learn a lot. Whether you're working with trainers with the Spurs or whether you're working with your own trainer, you're getting some good work. So I'm just excited to be able to finally be able to do that.
What are those things, those goals?
I mean, personally for me, I'd probably just say just consistency, like trying to make sure that I want to work on my handle. I want to make sure that, with De'Aaron and Vic and Steph and people that we have here that's going to cause more and more attention, I know I'm probably going to be getting a lot more open looks. So,
like I said, Devin is not one that the Spurs are going to look to trade, nor do I think they should. I think you should wait it out. But he is one of those where if the offer is good enough, they probably are going to listen. But like I said, I think that if he is like a fourth option on a team, fourth scoring option, guys, we are deadly. Because it's very important to have guys like this that, yeah, maybe you're a little inconsistent here and there, right? But every now and then you could skyrocket to a first or second offensive option. Maybe even in stretches, right? 3 games in a row where you're the first or second offensive option because he's just that hot. Those guys are important, okay? We shouldn't discredit that or say like everybody needs to be a superstar if they're going to be on this team.
But just being consistent, being able to space the floor, and making sure that, you know, if they double off of Vic, we know where, you know what I'm saying, if they're doubling off of De'Aaron because he's having a good game, or however it goes, like we have so many weapons, and going forward, like it's gonna be, I just know I'll probably get a.
Yeah, exactly. He's openly saying he's okay with having a reduced role. That was another thing too. Yeah, this comes down to bad fans. There's fans that's come out that said like he just needs to realize he's not the man. Like it's just like such narrativizing, you know what I mean? You guys know what I'm saying, right? Like it's just so much narrative, every single thing. It can't be a practical reason something happens. It has to be some flaw in a player's character on why they struggle every single time. I heard that every single time. They can't give Wemby the lobs. Everyone just thinks they're the guy. Everyone just thinks they're the man. Sochan needs to realize that he's not the most popular kid in town anymore. What are we talking about? Where are you getting this from? You know? It's just so much narrativizing. There's no rationale, man. Like, just think about it for a minute. There could be some practical reasons why a player's struggling. It doesn't all have to be that there's some error in their character or whatever.
A lot of open looks and just being that knockdown shooter, and then just having my game translate through everything. Like, you know, there might be games where I don't score like that, but just impacting.
Like I said, the soft thing, right? Like people say he's soft. You going back to narrativizing. Soft, like soft as in like what, he doesn't care. Soft as in he's not trying. He's afraid of contact. Like these are a lot of things you're assuming when maybe in actuality, guys just. Basketball players have certain tendencies. That's it. They have tendencies, things that they're really good at, and they kind of hone in on that. Yeah, Sochan hates Wemby, don't you know? Yeah, dude, that was crazy. Yeah, he hates him. Oh, he hates Wemby. He hates the attention. What are you talking about?
The ball defensively.
And it's not that like that could be wrong, right? That could very well be right. But I just need to know how someone is making an inference based on the games that they've watched. Like, I mean, sure, if we saw Sochan like yelling at Wemby all the time, you know, huffing and puffing, Wemby's trying to talk to him and he's, you know, shaking his hand off his shoulder or something. Like, sure, but okay, he missed him on an alley-oop. Okay. That's it? That's all we're basing it off of? There can't be another reason? The same thing, like every player has struggled with Wemby. Even Wemby's Olympic team struggled to give him lobs. Like, it's a struggle. It's not easy to play with. Chris Paul struggled for a minute. It's not easy.
You know, being a pest, we got Vic in the back line, but if we can pressure the ball, be in the passing lanes, we'll be able to get out and run. So just going back and looking back at the season and seeing like what I did good, what I did bad, and then just learning from that.
Is it challenging to readjust your role again? Or is that a good problem to have, knowing that the team's
getting better?
Yeah.
I mean, it's a good problem to have. You know, at the end of the day, you don't got to worry about maybe a team scout just worried about on you, and that's amazing because, like I said, I'll be getting open shots, I'll be getting better looks, easier looks, whatever the case may be. You know, you look at a championship team, it's not just one person, it's not just two people, it's just a collective. So as we continue to grow this thing,
exactly. The reason why Patty Mills was so deadly was because he could be like a fourth option. And every now and then he goes off. And there's nothing you can do about it. Because if he has to be a guy that you just let score, where you're like, look, we stopped this player, we stopped this player, we stopped this player. We can't put all our energy on Patty now. That's important. That's deadly. Same thing with Devin. The attention's going to be in other areas.
And try and make this a championship level team, we gotta, obviously we're just gonna keep getting better and better, and it's gonna be more and more pieces, so we gotta be able to fill.
Clan is Sochan's strongest soldier.
You know, fill spots for each other. We all just gotta be able to play for each other and play together.
I'm excited to hear about the offseason. You talked about you working out, but then once Victor and De'Aaron are cleared, all of y'all coming together. I mean,
Yeah.
I know the off season kind of build your chemistry, kind of get used to each other. How excited are you about that?
Yeah, extremely. We all haven't had a time to where we can all kind of just get reps in. De'Aaron got traded over and he got right into the season. Vic was playing last year. I didn't get to kind of work out with him. It's been a whirlwind, to be honest. But yeah, I'm just excited for this summer. We can all get some work in, whether we go to one destination and we all work together as a team, or it's individual work, or we come together in San Antonio and play some 5-on-5, 2-on-2, whatever the case may be. But I'm just excited for all of us to get better, to grow, and to just learn off each other, truthfully.
Obviously, it's tough to be without Wemby and Fox and Pop, but what have you learned about your team in the absence of those guys since Fox's injury?
Just being resilient. I mean, there's been a lot of people who've stepped up, and young guys having to step up. With CP and HB, they've just kept it here. They've kept it.
Sochan wins Defensive Player of the Year one year, and we'll give Clan a shout out in his speech. They're never going to mention me. I got mentioned one. Well, okay. On social media, I can get mentioned sometimes. I got mentioned once to a player, and it was actually Davis Bertans, and a reporter brought up the what is it called? My brain is blanking. Petition. I made a petition, which it was a joke, but I made a petition for him to go to the All-Star game and be in the 3-point contest, because it was crazy that he wasn't invited. So that's what I did. I made a petition, and I got a bunch of signatures, like thousands of signatures. And they ended up bringing that up to him. He was like, oh, yeah, I saw that. That was very funny. Right. And I get shout outs, at least on Twitter, from Derek White's dad all the time. And Derek White's responded to that video. I don't know. Make the excuses, Clan. What are we talking about? What excuse? What?
For us, just constant, every day, just making sure that we're coming in ready to work, coming in ready to play, and we appreciate.
Oh, you signed it? That's dope.
That they're a pro's pro, and they've helped us out a lot this season. So, like you said, without Fox and Vic and Coach Pop, it's a totally different team. But like, we managed pretty well, and we were competitive all throughout all the games. So, testament to us in the season that we've had.
Are there any bits of Chris Paul wisdom or a story you'd like to share this season with him?
I don't think I have a specific story, but I just know that the impact that he's had has been huge. I mean, he's always talking to us and making sure that we're understanding the game, and whether somebody messed up on defense or whatever the case may be, like, he'll point it out to you, and you'll see, like, you understand why he's a winner and why he's won so many times, so much in different organizations, because he just brings that and instills that into everybody. So some of the things that he's taught us and talked about and that we've taken away and learned from it, I know I'll hold on to it for as long as I'm playing.
Can you speak on how the locker room has viewed what Mitch has done this year for you guys? Like, if that's a tough job to hop into. So
100%.
Yeah.
I mean, truthfully, Coach Johnson's been amazing. He's instilled confidence in us as a team, not just as a team, but individually. Me, I went through a time where I felt like I couldn't throw a rock in the ocean, and he's sitting here telling me, Dev, you know it's going to change, and just having that, and having a coach that I came into in the league when I first got out here, he was pretty much, I was working with him, so to have somebody like that, and he's just instilling confidence in me from day one to now, and he just does that with everybody. Like, you could play 2 minutes, you could play 20 minutes, like, he's going to sit there and he's not going to tell you a bad shot or nothing. He's going to make sure that you're playing hard and playing how you're supposed to play, and I feel like he's been doing everything right as a coach.
Thank you, Devin.
Thanks, Devin. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. That was nice. Man. All right. You can sit over here, little Sochan. All right, that was cool. That was nice. As you guys know, I absolutely love Devin Vassell's press conferences. They're always pretty good. It's always pretty energetic, and he gives you some good information. A lot of our guys are very authentic, I guess. Well, maybe authentic isn't the word. They're just very open. I guess that is part of authenticity. You know what I mean? Anyways, in that segment.